Hey everyone, Sir Jellybean here, and we are back with Arms Trade Tycoon Tanks. So, something a bit different today. We're going to go through the workshop and show you all the different tanks that are available. Now, I've seen obviously this game is still early access. You only really get to play as the Brits, but you get to reverse engineer tanks as I went over in my preview, which means you can unlock quite a few different designs. So we're just going to go through all the different tanks. I think there's about 13 or 14 of them from various nations, and we're just going to kind of show you what's available because the game is pretty cool with that. Like, they look cool, and you can also customize them. As you can see, I've chucked quite a lot of weapons on this thing, but you can switch things up as you wish. You can change the engine, if you want to change the sponsors, or you want to change the guns, you are more than welcome to do so, as long as they fit in the weight limit and you have the crew to use them. You can switch up what you want. So we're just going to go through the designs. So first, we have the Mark 8 series. This is obviously a later model of the tank itself. I'm a bit locked in here. It's been a pain. And as you can see, it's one of the later models of the World War I designs, but it's pretty damn cool. So that's one of the British tanks that you get later on in the kind of, if you get down the research tree. So that's number one. Number two, we have the Mark 5 Custom series here. As you can see, quite chunkier, older land battleship kind of style design. Got in that nice grey colour. I've chucked some small 75mm, I think, on there, even though in real life it didn't have them. But like you say, you can design the tank how you want. As long as it's in the weight limit, it'll have some issues. Obviously, you can fix them as you go through. But you can kind of tailor the weapon system as you want. You can even put all pure machine guns on if you want. If you think, actually, I don't want guns on this, I want to switch that back to, let's say, improved male sponsor. I think male sponsors are more for cannons, actually. They are, but let's say we go to the female sponsor. No, wrong one. And then we can go for MGs. So if you want to make it a pure MG tank, you can do so. It's completely up to you how you arm it. So there we have the Mark 5 series. Next is one of my favourites, the A7V series. This is the German tank. This rolling bloody brick is massive. It wasn't very effective in real life. I think it only could get like 7 miles per hour. It was terrible on terrain. As you can see, that thing's going to topple. They only made like 10 or 15. They didn't make many at all. I've actually seen a mock-up of these at Bovington, not a real one. But they were pretty awful. But obviously, they look really cool. Literally a rolling brick. Do like that design quite a lot. Next, we have the Mark 1. Yes, the original land battleship. The original British one. Pretty good, iconic. I like the kind of cage on top. These days, that could be quite useful for stopping drones. You see, they were thinking hundreds of years ahead. Hundreds of years ahead, should I say. Very well smart for those guys. But a really cool starting tank. It's probably the first thing you're going to build in the game. Then we get to the Saint-Chamond, the beast. This French tank was a monster. Very top-heavy, but a massively strong 75mm main gun. I don't know if I've actually got the right main gun on it. There is the smaller one, but I know it is the right main gun. You'll see these on all quite on the Western Front. And this is one of my favourite tanks, World War One. Didn't actually know about it until quite a while back. I saw it in that film. But it wasn't the best at crossing trenches. It used to get stuck, because obviously top-heavy. But having that such a heavy 75mm kind of mobile on tracks really did make it a very dangerous enemy to fight. And obviously, the 4 machine guns surrounding it meant it could kill things in every single direction. So a really cool tank. After the Chamond, we have the Medium Hornet, which is more of a, like, kind of like the Whippet. These ones were, I feel like they were more designed for open terrain and cutting down infantry, like an advancing tank. They weren't so good for normally for crossing trenches, I think, but they were more kind of easier terrain, quick advances, kind of pushing to enemy territory. 5 machine guns on the thing, though, means you're going to be chucking lead in every single direction. Very cool looking tank, really like the Hornet series. Then we've got the Krupp Mark, the LT Krupp Mark Custom, which I don't actually know what this tank's designed. I think I've seen it before, and I've chucked a main gun on it. I don't think in real life it had a main gun on it. I think it had an MG as well. I think it was more like, it reminded me more of an armoured car, but still quite cool. Mind you, of a tractor. So it is German, I believe, with the Krupp. I'm pretty sure they are German, so that makes sense because it does kind of look like a German tractor design from the era. Next, we have the LK2 Mark Custom, or the Custom is what I call it. This is, I think originally this was a French one, but I've chucked a random turret on it. And as you can see, it's popping 3 machine guns and the main cannon. I do like this kind of track design. It might be another German design. By the looks of it, it does remind me of one. And I put these massive tracks on it. Probably a bit too big for it. But you can kind of chuck whatever you want on it. Like I say, it is up to you how you design them, which is really cool, especially in workshop. You can just go to your heart's content. Next, we have the Schneider CA Mark Custom, which I'd never even seen before. It reminds me of a boat. But this thing's also packing like a sponsor main gun. 3 machine guns on it, and I've got a turret on it. I'm not sure what it'll look like in real life, but I do like the whole design, but it does remind me of like a kind of an amphibious tank or vehicle, so it's quite cool. So that's a really good looking tank. Then we've got the Medium Whippet. This is obviously, I believe, a British one. These were designed for speeding forward and like crossing terrain. I'm pretty sure they didn't have a turret in real life. I'm pretty sure it was more of an armoured seal. But the fact that you can chuck a turret on it in this game is rather cool. But the Whippet, I've seen this in real life actually at Bovington. Very quick. I think it could do, was it like 12 miles per hour or something, or 8? But over open terrain, it was quite fast indeed. So definitely a very cool, like, quick advancing tank. Next, we've got the FT-17 Custom, the French tank. You can actually see these in Gates of Hell, which play a lot. This was revolutionary because it was the first tank with a turret. And here we've got this one armed with a small gun. I think normally they tended to have a machine gun, but it is what it is. I think that's because I put the wrong turret. Maybe if I put the Grod turret on it or the Krupp turret, it will have a Hotchkiss, yeah. So maybe Krupp is not German, I don't know. But anyway, you can arm it with a machine gun. It's very cool. It's a very powerful tank. This little tank became one of the most popular. I believe the French made like 2,000 plus. They sold them to a lot of countries after. Finland was actually still using them in World War II as well. So it does show you it stood the test of time. Even though not the most effective by then, still a very cool little tank. Very revolutionary with its 2-man crew as well. So that's it. That's all the tanks in the game. As you can see, there's quite a few. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, that's quite a lot of tanks, to be fair. You can obviously, my personal favourites are the bigger tanks. But the fact that you do have options to reverse engineers and produce these, even though you're stuck at the moment with early access in the British series, does give you quite a few options. It does extend the gameplay. I just thought I'd show off the tanks. I think they're pretty damn cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little preview of the game. Obviously, it's up there on the Steam store if you're interested. Look into it, see if it's tickled your fancy. But obviously, if you like tanks, it may be for you. It's very cool. I'm hoping that they develop it even further and keep the good gameplay rolling. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. And you guys have a fantastic evening.